Create eye-catching designs that will make your apparel top of the line. The possibilities are endless with ski tees and apparel. No order too large or small. One item or hundreds, no problem. With quick turnarounds, no setup charges or hidden fees, and rush services to fit your needs. Customize your look today by calling 440-462-9401. That's 440-462-9401. And also follow us on the web at skiteesapparel.com.
You're listening to the Drip Podcast with Nick and Mars. Keep it locked.
Hey everybody, we're back with the Drip. Thank you guys for tuning in live. Keep your questions going. We see you. Hey, Free, good morning.
Don't be sad, bro.
Good morning, Tangy. So, we've been having good conversations about marijuana usage, and Lando, you just brought up a good point.
Smacking.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was
saw you
eating
had the munchies.
I was eating almonds. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's a healthy option.
Lando, you at the break, you brought up a good point. When you're talking about marijuana usage with people who smoke, they become very defensive about it.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's a friend. I mean, and at some point, I
ain't gonna let you talk about my friend.
Right. Mm-hmm. You know, because at sometimes you can find yourself in a place where people just don't understand you. Mm-hmm. And especially as you smoke weed, when people give you that raised eyebrow or the nose turn, or they recognize because you smell like it, you can feel that segregation or whatever that is, that push away, and that right there will cause you to become a little defensive because they're not just rejecting you, they're rejecting what you've found to be of comfort to you. So it winds up becoming a very real good morning, Tati. It winds up becoming a very real relationship.
Yeah.
And that winds up putting you in a place where a person that smokes, they're going to definitely say something to you about it if you come at them and saying it's a bad thing. I mean,
so many things are bad, though.
Yeah, but marijuana is very, very kind. She's a beautiful girl.
Oh, and she's a girl now.
Well,
Mary
I mean, for
Jane.
Most dudes, I mean, because when you smoke,
she can't be a guy?
I wouldn't smoke a guy. I wouldn't.
You would not enjoy your mail, would you?
No. I'm struggling with just the fact I got to freak them out. They put them out. I mean, even the joint.
Eddie
Something about all that. It's just
Eddie
kind of
Kane.
do some things to you. Maybe you might say I'm homophobic, but I'm just not into that. So the point is, when you do those kind of things and somebody says something about what has been good to you, at least to you think it's good, it's like a woman who's getting beat up by her dude. Okay. When you talk about that dude, she gonna defend that dude. Right. I don't care what he doing to her. Yeah. But that's the same kind of relationship that these things can have. And it's not just marijuana, it's alcohol. You talk about somebody, you should stop smoking. What do? Leave your presence and go have a cigarette. Yeah. It's the relationship, and sometimes the relationship is really more so with themselves more than it is the drug, because it's the control you have. I can do this and no one can tell me I can't. You might be able to tell me where I can live because of my paycheck. You may be able to tell me how far I can go because I can only buy so much gas. But you can't tell me how much I can smoke. As long as I got it, I'm smoking.
It's just like eating.
That too. Yeah, it's a relationship that you have with food.
I have one.
Right.
You have one with cookies. It's not food.
Yeah, cookies.
Yeah, cookies.
It's cookies. I know. Cookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we play a game real quick? Real quick.
Uh-oh.
Make it quick, Mark.
Everybody says,
I ain't smoking nothing.
make it quick, Mar.
Okay, so there is a 420 game out there. You can purchase it on Amazon. They're cards and they have like questions on them. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't like this game.
Normally you are high doing it, but we're not going to be. We're going to pretend like we're high. Okay.
Mostly y'all do.
You know what? Listen. Another thing you need to know is that when you smoke, a lot of times you forget stuff.
You do. That's why
I mean,
some of the stuff you're going to be like, what?
Ask the question, please.
What's the question?
But you have to do it too. It's like actions. So I'm going to start with Orlando first. Sing a song that you hate.
To the left. Everything you
I don't
owe.
like this game.
He secretly likes that song.
That was just the first song that came to mind. I
Keep
mean,
going.
Smash the windows out your car. I hate that song.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cam,
Sing a song that I don't like.
no, you have another
Oh.
thing to do.
Oh.
You're going to have to stand up for this one, Cam.
What?
Oh Lord. What are we
Okay.
doing
You
here?
got calisthenics?
All right, Cam.
Sorry, Ty.
This is what you got to do.
Uh-huh.
You have to stand on one leg
Uh-huh.
and bark like a dog. Let's go.
I'm not playing this game.
Let's go.
I would have to be high to do
Come on,
that.
right? You would have to be.
Come on, you
My
got equilibrium is off. I can't stand on one
give us
leg.
examples of the questions.
Oh my God. Okay, so you have
Examples.
that.
You have like you got to turn your phone off and turn it back on in so many minutes.
Oh,
What's the thing?
This would mess you
Let me
up.
ask you. What's the thing? The worst thing you ever put in your body?
Put in my body.
Yeah.
No names, please.
Whoa. Hey, that was a good one. Okay.
The worst thing I ever put in my body.
Yeah.
You know that Father John's cough syrup?
Yeah.
Good for you. What you
Oh,
talking about?
that stuff is
It is
horrid.
disgusting. That's
Oh my
worse than
God.
castor oil.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's a couple of things. You can tell a story of how you met the people in your room. And it says, would you rather have sex with a dog or a zombie?
Okay, yeah, you definitely have to be high to answer those questions. Moving on to the next topic. So all of us went to the movies yesterday.
We probably should have been high watching this movie.
Clearly, listen, the movie Us.
Awesome.
It was a good movie, but I think there's a lot of messaging in it that you can't catch in watching the movie one time.
Which is why I went twice.
Yeah, I was totally afraid because I don't like scary movies.
It's not scary. It's
Y'all.
funny.
Well, I didn't know that. I was
Yeah.
more afraid of the movie previews
Oh, okay.
than I was at this movie.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the movie, Mar?
It was great. It was funny.
What message did you get out of the movie?
To me, it was almost like politically. Like, I looked at it almost like he was telling a story of how, because did you remember the guy, he had Jeremiah 11:11?
The homeless guy.
Yes. Did you read that verse? Like, I have
Yes.
to pull it up so you can read it, but it's something to the fact like it's going to cause mass destruction. It's going to be somebody that's going to bring on mass destruction, which we have that already.
Yeah.
And to me, with
Not at
the
that
symbolization of the rabbits, because they mass produce when they have babies, it was just like we were mass producing people, and some people were there to hate, while others were living this facade like it's all good in the hood, and it's not.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. What do you think, Lando?
I'm interested to find out what she thought was funny in the movie.
Who, me?
What was
Mine has
funny?
a dark sense of humor.
Okay, I do.
She has a very dark sense of humor.
When the father comes out there, he's talking his smack. He bangs on the bed, and then he's like,
Now, I done told you.
and
Yeah.
then he go in the house. He's like, talk. Yeah, the little boy was a dog jumping around. It's like
I thought that was funny too.
I
That the
was
little
laughing.
boy's tether or his
Yeah.
shadow was
Yeah.
like a dog, like a puppy. The mom was over there stroking his head. He over there growling
Yeah.
and purring.
Yeah, and then like how she was talking and like sound like it was just. I love that. That
Yeah, that
clip.
was-
And then just the way the parents were talking back and forth, like you know how the shadow of the dad was on the boat, and he's like, and then she was saying whatever she was saying in her look.
Yeah, it was something. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What message did you get out of the movie?
I'm a little torn because there were several messages that were being presented. I mean, the initial one that I saw was when the introduction of the Shadow family arrived, and the first thing she did was call the police on the people that look
Like
just
her.
like her. But because she couldn't identify them initially that they looked just like her, she called the police, and the whole we're not available. It's going to take us extra time to get to you and all that kind of stuff. That was very real in terms of where we are. But I thought of it more of being a hatred for ourselves, where we will look at others who have different experiences in life and put them in a place that others have put us in. We see them in that light. How is it you can see somebody else in the light you don't want to be seen in, and still be a part of the same system? So that part of it bothered me as far as a message. The other message that it bothered me was there is a lot that we're doing to ourselves and we're not taking responsibility for what we're doing.
Right.
And as a result of us being so consumed by things, we're not considering what's really valuable, and that is human life.
Yeah.
And beginning with ourselves to say, hey, listen, I got to do something with me, because look at who I've become without some refinement. And the refinement is the balance, because you have the antithesis, total antithesis, and the father represented. The dude that was supposedly educated, walking around with a Howard shirt on, sounding like he graduated from Yale and didn't even know he was black. How do he was just very much unrelatable for me.
He was a freak, though.
He was a freak. What do you mean?
You remember when he sat in my bed and he had his legs up and like, yeah, girl.
He was too big to be on that
He
little
was that little bitty bed.
But a dog can be a freak. As far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
So that part kind of turned me off too, because his sensitivity, if you will, for his wife was not attached to her. It was attached to what she could do. So him getting in the bed, in my opinion, was like he objectified her and made her just a piece of an opportunity, and not really cared about her, which was clearly indicated throughout the movie, because he was always kind of like, what?
Just joking around. And,
Right. Every time she had something serious to say, he didn't consider it. So for me, it really damaged the overall look for men, because the male father figure that was represented in there never stood up to be the person that we really want to see. There was no moment in this movie where I felt like, all right, that's a strong man. At no point. And I'm not talking
when he
about.
came back
Yeah,
with the
when
boat
he- yeah,
and
the
got
boat thing, he
the
was
family, or
The
when she was
dude let
fighting,
his
he
wife
was-
get taken in the house and he walked away.
He didn't let. Think about the movie. He didn't
Yeah.
let her do anything.
I don't
Yeah.
really think about him. I saw it. He should have been going in there cracking
She was
skull.
on a hunt
Who?
for herself.
Right.
She willingly did all these things,
Yeah.
Wait a
pushing them
minute.
away, and he, not knowing that she was a tether
Yeah.
or a shadow,
Yeah.
had to
Right.
let her go.
Because you remember
protect
the
the
part.
children.
Remember the part in the movie where she went into the woods to see the girl.
She
when
wasn't
was
going
hanging
there to
up-
kill her.
No,
Right.
she wasn't.
She was going to check on her daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was like, oh, I'm going to just let her do whatever.
Yeah.
She was on a hunt for something else. So
Yeah.
he really ain't had no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Well, that's only assuming that he knew that she was actually on this hunt. He didn't know.
Exactly.
So from that perspective, any man who has a woman and his woman gets
He was a
taken,
little weak in the movie. He
You
was.
think
Yeah, I think so. He was
Let my
jelly back.
woman get taken and go
With
on.
his leg
I'm
hurt and
sorry.
everything. He was
Jelly
a little
back.
weak. Hey, Tamika, good morning. Tamika says, one of the messages I got is how we can be our worst enemy.
Right,
You're right.
Tamika.
You're right.
Right.
So what was your message in the movie? What'd you come away with?
So I think the government failed on making clones, which is the representation of the rabbits in the beginning, right? So
Oh, you going all
yeah,
the way
I'm
deep.
about to give it to y'all, and I'm not high. I'm not high. This is sober Cam coming to y'all.
Okay.
So the government has created clones of all of us, right?
They say we have a lookalike.
Right. So we got these clones. One set of clones is controllable, right? The set of clones that are living above.
Yeah.
And then the other set, they were rebels, couldn't do nothing with them, so we put them below, around those subways and stuff that nobody's paying any
Yeah.
attention to.
Right.
So those ones that have been thrown away want to experience what the controlled group is experiencing, which can be our inner selves. Y'all can say it's a mirror of ourselves. They want to experience the good life. So they're on this hunt to get their shadow, their tether, so that they can swap places, which ultimately is what she did.
Yeah. Which you find out at the end.
But is that a semblance of the good and the bad, the dark and the light
It could be.
that all of us have?
It could be, but it also could be confusing because you're dark. What you think is dark may not necessarily be so dark. But because you're not seeing it from the same viewpoint or perspective, it could be the truth that you're seeking.
Right.
Where you might just find your faith your
Yourself.
exactly.